Hi, did you know that Lord has promised to be your shepherd? He has promised to be your guide. He has promised to be your protector. He has promised to be your provider. If you'd like to know more, take a walk with me through Psalms 23 as I do this vlog. So I just want to take this moment to discuss Psalms 23. And we know that Psalms 23 is a powerful psalm. It is a psalm where God reminds us that He is our shepherd. And if we know anything about a shepherd, we know that they do take care of sheep. And we know that sheep are very innocent. They will do things that other animals will not do because that's their nature. But this is where they have a shepherd who is their protector, a shepherd who is there to guide them and to ensure their safety. And so the Bible describes us as being sheep and God as being our shepherd. And so Psalms 23 is saying that the Lord is our shepherd. And because He's our shepherd, I shall not want, you shall not want, we shall not want. Because what? He make us to lie in green pasture. The Bible is assuring us that because He is our shepherd, we don't have to take thought for tomorrow. We don't have to concern ourselves with our needs as we often do and to preoccupy ourselves with certain things because God promised to be our provider, right? He said that He will provide for the lily of the valley, He will provide for the bird of the air, and He will make provision for us as well. Why? Because we are His prized possession. We don't have to be preoccupied with worrying about what tomorrow brings, what's going to happen tomorrow. We worry so many times, time and time again, about things that never actually happens. And so God is saying that don't preoccupy your mind with these thoughts. We want to have that pure mind, that pure thought, and we want to cast, like the Bible said, we ought to cast our cares on God, right? Because God cares for us and He wants to be our provider. He leadeth me beside the still water. And we know what a still water is. That water that is always ever present. That water that is always ever ready. That water that is ever there to satisfy a thirsty soul. And so He leads us beside that still water to restore our soul. He wants our soul to be refreshed. That when we drink from that well that never runs dry, that our soul become refreshed in God. And so He leads us beside that still water and He restore our soul, right? And so we can give God thanks for the fact that He is our soul restorer. He is our refresher. He is the living God, the one that we can look to do the impossible. When things look impossible, when the times look, like there is no break, when things look like it's not gonna come through, we can trust in that good shepherd to supply our needs and to provide for us because that's who He is. He leadeth me, it said, in the paths of righteousness for His name's sake. Not for your sake, not for my sake, but God lead us in that path of righteousness because of His name's sake, because He desires us to have a relationship with Him, because He desires to be our shepherd, because we are His sheep. He created us and He wants us to have a relationship with Him. It says, yea, though I walk through the valley, I will fear no evil. And the reason why I can fear no evil is because God is with me. So though we walk through the valley of the shadow of death, the Bible is letting us know that we don't have to fear because God is our protector. God is our guide. God is our shield. God is our restorer, and He will cover us. He will protect us. He will shield us. He will strengthen us. And all we need is just a relationship with Him. All we need to have is a relationship with him. Though the valley look treacherous, though we look like we're not gonna make it, God is letting us know that because he is our shepherd, though we go through that valley of that shadow of death, we don't have to fear for evil, because God is our God. He is our protector. The Bible let us know that our lives are in God's hand. And so if God allows something in our lives, we must find the purpose for it, because God allowed it for a reason, right? Though I walk to the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for God is with me. Why am I not going to fear? For God is with me. His rod and his staff, they will comfort me. He said, though you prepare a table before me in the presence of mine enemies, I can go in that presence. I can sit comfortably. I can have a great time. I can eat. I can drink. Because what? God covers me. God is the one that prepares that table. And because he prepares that table, he will make it right with me. I don't have to fear my enemies. I don't have to fear what evil may come up against me. Matter of fact, God is showing us that even if we're in the presence of our enemy, even if we're in a situation where it looks ill-favored, it looks contrary to doing us good or blessing us, God is saying we don't have to fear that situation, because what? He is our comforter. He is the one who prepares that table. And because he prepares that table, he will make sure that we partake of it. He said, thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Can you imagine God anointing our head with oil, anointing us with blessing, anointing us with favor, anointing us for the purpose that he has called us to, anointing us to do his will, anointing us to be blessed and highly favored? And that's what he said. He anoints our head. Not only does he anoint our head, but our cup overflow. Our cup is flowing over. It is more than enough than we can contain. It is more than we can contain, because the blessing is super. The blessing is substantial. The blessings and favors of God is ours to partake of. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Can you imagine goodness? Can you imagine mercies? Can you imagine favor? Can you imagine blessings following us all the days of our lives? Blessing overtaking us all the days of our lives. That when your neighbor is not blessed, you're blessed. When your friends are not blessed, God is blessing you nonetheless. In the drought, in the dry times, he's blessing us. In the good times, he's blessing us. In times of abundance, he is blessing us. You know, somewhere in one of those Psalms, it let us know, the writer was saying that, God, you have allowed me to have more joy than when my enemies' corn and wine exceed. That when they're blessed in corn and wine, that you have allowed me to have more joy than they. And basically what the writer is saying is just saying that, you know what, when the time of corn and wine comes, you know, that's the time that our hearts are merry. But he's saying that even though they have their corn and their wine, that my heart is always even more exceedingly blessed and happy than theirs. Because what? Continually I am in a state of corn and wine. I'm in a state of corn and wine. So God is our God, and he promised to bless us. He promised to provide for us. He promised to supply all our needs according to his riches in glory. So we know that we can cast our cares on God. We can trust him to be our provider. We can trust him to be our way maker. We can trust him to supply our needs because He is a need supplier. Too many times we concern ourselves about our own cares. We concern ourselves about what's going on in our life instead of casting our cares upon God. Because why? He cares for us. And so we can cast our cares upon Him, knowing that He cares for us. He is our provider. He is our shield. He is our comforter. And we can take comfort in that, knowing that that's who our God is. So today, I just want to say that if you have been blessed by this few words, consider subscribing to my channel, like, share, hit the notification button, and I will see you at the next one. And my prayer for you today is, may God be gracious to you. May He cause His countenance to shine upon you and give you peace. Be blessed.